charcoal. Let's see what we got. Super skinny. I'm struggling here getting a slice. I see that? I couldn't even go with the one I wanted because I couldn't break it. All right, here we go. One bite, every knows rules. Good undercarriage, a little bit of flop. Let's see what we got. No burn, no burn, which is surprising since it just came out. I'm feeling the pressure from you looking at me. I'm going to be honest, you're just staring me down, waiting for the score. I know she's waiting for it. You already gave your score. What's your favorite pizza in New York?
Lucali. Or Dafara.
I take her score very seriously. Because I said, what's your two favorites? She said Lucali or Dafara. Two Hall of Fames. Lucali is so good. And this actually has like the lightness of Lucali slice. I'm the I got it. On the count of three, we'll say it together, ours. All right? 1, 2, 3. 8-2.
7-4.
I'm teaming up with Amazon and Kindle.
I was the leader of a satanic organization. I saw the satanic agenda with my own eyes. I was in meetings discussing the satanic agenda with other satanic organizations around the world. So every 9 years it gets updated. So I'm just aware of the one that's being pushed now up to 2027. I don't know what the agenda is after that. But what I've seen with my own eyes and the online conferences that I've been in with other satanic leaders, this is what's going on at the moment. When I said when I left Satanism in May 2022.
All right, TikTok. Going a little different today on this. Using my phone instead of my iPad. Oh, that was good. Oh, love back cracks. All right, I am live on TikTok. No. All right, let's just gonna hit record there, make sure it's working. That's working. Awesome. I'm going to Man, these lights are bright. Okay, now let's see. All right, I see Tim joined. Hey, Tim. Hey, Des. I am doing a free hypnosis session. Going to get started in about 3 minutes here. I know it's a ways away in TikTok time. TikTok time is like slips through your fingers because if you're more than 10 seconds, people don't want to sit and watch. But that's okay. But I'm going to be going live primarily on Facebook. Primarily on Facebook. I'm going to say that again because Facebook saves the damn thing. It saves it so other people can watch it later on. But I'm going live there now. And we will see. Let's see what that says. All right. We'll see how this goes. I'm not doing this just for you. I'm doing it to go live and all that. But I am going live primarily on Facebook right now. Facebook will let people watch it back and actually go through the process. But today I'm doing some hypnosis for free for anyone who wants to interrupt those automatic negative self-thoughts. So let's hop into that now. We're going to go live now. All right, and we're live on Facebook. Here we go. So doing some hypnosis today. We are going to be going through and doing hypnosis. Today's topic is interrupting automatic negative thoughts. Interrupting automatic negative thoughts. That's today's hypnosis topic. We're going to do some live hypnosis. If you're on TikTok and you want to get hypnotized to interrupt those negative thoughts, let's do it. If you're on Facebook and you want to interrupt those negative thoughts, let's do it. Otherwise, everything will be available for download at a later date. But here we are anyway, right? Here we are anyway. And let me just see here real quick. See if I can share this live. All right, we're going to say I'm live now. And just see who joins in. All right. But again, it's not about people joining in. It's not about people even watching right now. I hope they do. I hope people find value in this. And if they do, great. If they don't, well, I found value in recording this all anyway because I think these are important topics and I love to do good where I can. So it is 7 o'clock right now on the dot. Perfect. So we can get started here. I just want to invite anyone who wants to be hypnotized tonight to just be in a place where you can close your eyes, where you can relax, where you can focus on the words that I'm saying and be uninterrupted. So once you are in a place where you can relax and focus and hear my words and give your attention to this session here at hand. Once you are there, in that place, I want you to go ahead and simply close your eyes. Close your eyes and just notice the thoughts as they fly by in your mind. Thoughts are these fleeting things. They're not concrete. They're not things that we need to dwell on all the time. Just notice them fly by. Any interrupting thoughts. And I want you to think to yourself now. Think to yourself, I'm going to learn a technique to go into hypnosis today, and I'm going to be able to go instantly, easily, and automatically into this wonderful, receptive state, focused on bettering myself and becoming a more free, version of myself. And you can think that now. I'm going to become a more free version of myself. Because that's what this month is all about. If you're listening in July. So with our eyes closed now, I want you to take a deep breath in and exhale. And just think the words purify as you breathe. Purify. Our lungs are a sort of air filter and allow our body to just purify everything coming into it. And some things get caught up in it and some things get filtered right back out. And I want you to draw your attention to your fingertips. I really like pulling attention in to such a small area like fingertips. However your hands happen to be, however you happen to be sitting or laying is not important. Just make sure you have balance wherever you are, however you are. And think about the tips of your fingers now. Feel the movement within those fingertips. The blood flowing. Sometimes there's unconscious twitching or spasming sometimes. All that's just fine. But focus on your fingertips now and feel the sensations that are there. And as you focus on those sensations, you can notice the sounds and movements and sensations all around you. And you can just allow those everyday sounds and happenings to bring you even more fully into this relaxed and receptive state we call hypnosis. And hypnosis being this natural state of mind that we all go into many times a day. Just naturally. The brainwave frequencies between alpha and theta and our receptivity at a heightened state, amplifying our ability to retain information and experience feelings, emotions. It's that same state where if we're watching a movie or TV show, reading a book, and we become emotionally invested in that storyline. That same brain state where we may cry when a character cries. We may feel what those characters feel. Because we can, because we absorb emotions this way. And so as we focus on our fingertips, noticing the pulse, and I wonder now where you feel that pulse the strongest. Wherever that is, draw your focus there and zoom in more. And zoom in even more. And just think about zooming in all the way to the molecular level. subcellular, and what that must look like. And how to each molecule to each molecule, each of the cells that we have is like its own universe, its own galaxy, something bigger than we can even comprehend. And if those molecules could have thought, they could not fathom how large the organism is that they reside in. As we zoom in there, you and I together, focusing. What I'd like you to do in just a moment, I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. Reaching the number 1, I'm going to say, release and relax. And when I say that phrase, I want you to just let every muscle from the tip of your head all the way down to the tips of your toes, fingertips and all, and just imagine them releasing and relaxing, loosening up and melting away, just allowing a looseness, a softness, a complete ability to disengage. When I count down from 5 to 1 and I say that phrase, let every muscle, bone, fiber in your body release and relax and let you go all the way more into this wonderful receptive state, instantly, easily, and automatically. You can tell yourself now, when I hear that phrase, release and relax, after counting down from 5 to 1, I will let every muscle, bone, fiber, tissue in my body release and relax all the way, becoming more and more receptive, relaxed, and focused with each breath thereafter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release and relax. All the way, focusing on my voice, on this relaxation, every muscle, bone, fiber, and tissue in your body. Loosening, relaxing, noticing the muscles around your eyes, on your forehead, on your eyebrows, relaxing and loosening. Muscles around your ears and in your jaw, releasing and loosening. You may even feel your jaw just let up and open just slightly. As this relaxation grows and spreads and amplifies, recognizing that all sounds and commotion around us can just simply lead us more into this focused state. And just think to yourself, I am becoming more receptive with each passing breath. And know that you are becoming more receptive with each passing breath. And that receptivity is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be able to receive helpful information. And as we take a deep breath here in just a moment, I want you to think of it as a cleansing breath. And then as you breathe out, I want you to think the words release, relax, receptive. And go all the way down into this wonderful, released, relaxed, and receptive state. At the count of 3, take that breath in, and as you breathe out, think the words release, relax, receptive. 1, 2, 3, now. Release, relax, receptive, all the way down. And anytime you hear me snap, it can just be a reminder of how much more relaxed we can become. And you can become more relaxed, and I can become more relaxed. You could tell yourself, I can become even more relaxed with each snap. And with that relaxation comes a wonderful sense of receptivity. You know, things happen in our bodies at an unconscious, a subconscious, and a conscious level, even at a pre-conscious level, and we don't even always notice what's happening. When we think back to our pulse, that happens unconsciously. Whether we're awake or asleep, our pulse is happening. That means our bodies always have some kind of energy in them. When we are having a conversation or walking down the street or driving somewhere, our subconscious can pick up on all the peripheral things that we miss in our conscious mind. That feeling of when we focus in on something and then everything else is peripheral and almost blurred. Thinking of a camera lens and the focus that it has on whatever it is we need to focus on in that moment, and everything else we can still see, but it is just not in that line of vision at a conscious level, even though it's there and we can see it. Our minds are amazing this way. They have this tool that we call the reticular activating system, and that acts as this filter to the mind, just as our liver filters our blood and our kidneys help filter our blood and our lungs filter the air coming into our body. The reticular activating system filters the information that comes into our minds on a daily basis, all day, every single day. It sharpens our focus where it needs to be sharpened, and it blurs the rest around the edges. And there's a great quote I'll call back to. I want you to think this quote in your mind right now. Once I say it, let it echo. And that quote is, "What we aim at defines what we see." What we aim at defines what we see. Hold into that for just a moment. There have been studies shown on the reticular activating system where if you tell a group of people that there is loose change everywhere, that suddenly those people notice loose change everywhere they go. And in that same way, we can be told there are good things everywhere and there are bad things everywhere. If you watch the news, follow social media closely, you may find all kinds of just awful things, just negative, terrible things that come to play in there. true or not, the more we feed ourselves this information, the more we begin to see that information everywhere and that perspective everywhere, and it warps our perspective on life. It warps our sense of well-being. It warps our souls all the way to the core. And in that way, you can see people who would otherwise have been very pleasant and warm and loving, generous and kind. You can see them become something other than that. That's a sad thing to think about. Watching our loved ones devolve into bitterness and negativity, watching ourselves devolve into that even, although it's generally less conscious when we do it ourselves. The reticular activating system is this tool, and it serves us in a way that we subconsciously believe is important. And I say the word important because important does not mean necessary or urgent. It's its own category. Something can be important and not be necessary. Salt is important to bread dough or cake batter, but you can still make bread and make cakes without salt. That cake, that bread, will just be lacking something. Intrusive thoughts are interesting that way. We might call them intrusive thoughts. We might call them negative thoughts. We might call it negative self-talk. We might even call it demons at times, depending on your culture, your beliefs. But what we aim at defines what we see. I want you to think this phrase. And still there is goodness. And still there is goodness. You know, for every negative situation, a positive can be derived. It may not be positive for the people directly involved, but positive can come from negative. You know, when someone asks me how I'm doing, my immediate response is almost always to say, every day is a good day. Think that now. Every day is a good day. And I'm going to say some negative things. And when I say those negative things, I'm going to whisper them. And I want you to hear them whispered softly. And hear the response loudly and absorb that response. Relaxing more and focusing even more. Tragedies occur. and still there is goodness. People get sick, and still there is goodness. I've been hurt, and still there is goodness. Everything is changing, and still there is goodness. I feel emptiness, and still there is goodness. Death is all around, and still there is goodness. Politics is ruining everything in the world right now, and still there is goodness. And still there is goodness. And still there is goodness. I want you to think of that phrase as a shield, as a barrier, as a protective layer against those fleeting, passing negative thoughts. And still there is goodness. I want you to think your own pieces now. Think them now, and think, and still there is goodness. That much louder. What we aim at defines what we see. And the more we can tell ourselves this, and you can tell yourself this now, and still there is goodness. You can tell yourself that now and feel the relief it gives you. And still there is goodness can fill you. It can guide your thoughts. And those thoughts are filtered through that reticular activating system. And we are training that reticular activating system to filter out everything else. And we could still see it in our peripherals. It's important to see it in our peripherals. We have to be able to plan for it, to shield ourselves against that. We're not blinding ourselves to anything. We're simply pushing it out of the focus into the peripherals so we can focus on that phrase, and still there is goodness. Regardless of the things we've experienced in our lives, the mistakes we've made, the hardships we've endured, still there is goodness. Every day is a good day. And what we aim at defines what we see. Negative thoughts, just like any thoughts that we have on any given day, can be simply like a passing ship. It can be like looking out your window on a train. More like looking out your neighbor's window on a train and seeing the scenery just zip by. It doesn't even stick around long enough for you to notice what it really is sometimes. Our thoughts can be that way. And still there is goodness can be the guiding framework for our thoughts. It can be the guiding framework for your thoughts. Think that now. It can be the guiding framework for my thoughts. And the more we exercise that framework, the more we notice the framework, the stronger it becomes. Our perspective can shift. We can feel lighter. Suddenly, when we notice that still there is goodness, we notice that there is so much wonder in the world left. And optimism will breed this beautiful feeling of fulfillment and joy, possibility. And so, focusing on that phrase right now, and still there is goodness. Focusing on that and pulling that in, holding it to yourself. Training your reticular activating system to notice that goodness, and still there is goodness, telling yourself that phrase. So that even as the negatives begin to form in your mind, you can think now, and still there is goodness. Negative thoughts beginning, and still there is goodness. Every single time you think a thought, and still there is goodness. Every single thought can bring about goodness. And we can train our mind. You can train your mind. Tell yourself that now. I can train my mind to notice what goodness is in the world today. Because what we aim at defines what we see. Still, there is goodness. There is always goodness in this world. Every situation, every thought can be reframed, can be shifted and brought into a different light. And as that light shifts, you can even think, and still there is goodness. What we aim at defines what we see. Remind yourself that now. What we aim at defines what we see. There is always goodness, even in the hardest times. And we will still have those hard times and feel those hard moments within us, and we will still notice that still there is goodness. Now, I'm going to, in just a moment here, bring you fully out of hypnosis and count from 1 to 5. And I'm going to count from 1 to 5 and say, goodness. And when I say that word, after I count to 5, I want you to take a deep breath in quickly, open your eyes and breathe out and think to yourself, there is goodness. I'll count to 5. Say that word. And you will come all the way out of hypnosis feeling absolutely refreshed and with a whole new perspective and focus on that goodness, knowing that your reticular activating system has exactly what it needs now. 1, 2, 3, 45. Goodness. All right. Well, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was beneficial for somebody out there, anybody out there on TikTok or on Facebook. We all want to add value in the world, right? And this is one way that I've been able to add value is with hypnosis. Helping people with their hardest moments, their hardest obstacles is a real joy of mine. It's a privilege to be able to do it, and I hope that you get some value out of this. I hope that you're able to see through a new lens after today. I hope that you're able to utilize your reticular activating system in a new way and with a newfound sense of control and precision, where you can notice that what you aim at is defining what you see. And still there is goodness. There is goodness everywhere. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care what you think about me. I believe everyone has some goodness that they can notice. And whether your side's in power or another side is in power, there is still goodness. And even something as simple as considering the fact that everybody tends to think they're doing whatever they're doing for goodness. That's something worth considering right there. Everyone does things that they think are beneficial. Now, sometimes it's only selfishly beneficial. Some people think purely selfishly. And still there is goodness. And so I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to sign off. I hope you have a wonderful night. This is day 5 of 28. We still have 23 days to go. A lot of topics to tackle. I will be doing this at 7 p.m. every single day. And I hope that you will join me. And I hope that if you missed this, watch it back on Facebook or check out my website. I will have these for download after the 28 days is up. They'll be available for purchase, each of these sessions as a group or individually, whatever you find more value in. And if you don't find value in that sort of thing, that's okay too. This isn't about making money right now. I would be charging for this right now if I was about making the money. It's about helping people. I just have mouths to feed. Got, a wife and soon to be 6 kids. So, regardless, 6 kids, one's in the womb. But regardless, this is just about giving something back, giving something to help benefit the world in some way. So anyway, I'm long-winded. I talk a lot. I hope you all have a wonderful day. God bless everyone out there. And I will see you all tomorrow.